Greetings, I am Pastor Harris, and welcome to this edition of Understanding with Pastor Harris. If you're joining us for the first time, I invite you to start with episode number 20 and follow us on up through to today. All of our episodes are connecting themes, and they're progressive themes, and I would certainly hope that you would get a more understanding if you'd start with episode number 20 on through today and follow us from there. Now, today's message. In the beginning, when God created this wonderful world, on the sixth day, the Bible tells us he made man after he created this world, this perfect world. Then he gave this world to man. God also gave man something else that was very wonderful. He gave man the opportunity to make choices. God loves us just that much. He didn't want us to be enslaved. He wanted us to be free. In fact, the Bible calls it free will that he gave to man for man to have choices. But because God loved us so much and he gave us this wonderful thing called choice, God taught man all of the things that he needed to know so that he would make the right choices. In Genesis, the Bible says that God came to the Garden of Eden every day and sat with man and taught him everything and answered all of the questions that man would have so that man would make the right choices. But God, the Bible tells us that there was one special thing that God made a request of man. The Bible tells us in Genesis, the second chapter, verse 16 and 7, and I'll read it to you very quickly. It says, "And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, You may surely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die." Well, we know that man violated God's rule that got us into the big mess that we're in today. Man sinned. What is sin? Sin is anything that goes against the will of God. You see, there's evil in our world, and evil is very deceptive in getting us to do wrong, going against God. It works on all of our five senses, our sense of smell, hearing, seeing, tasting, and touch. Evil tries to make all of these things exciting for us to go against the will of God. But when the man sinned, God did not kill man immediately. He loved him so much. As I explained earlier, Jesus had already promised from before the beginning of the world that if man sinned, he would pay his penalty of death. 1 Timothy, the second chapter, verse 4 says, God, our Savior, who is Jesus, who desires all people to be saved and to come to the knowledge of the truth. That's what we're trying to do here on Understanding with Pastor Harris. And that's reveal all of the truths of the principles of the Bible so that we can make the right choices and be saved when Jesus returns. God had a plan by not destroying man immediately. He wanted to save mankind. The Bible says in 2 Peter, the third chapter, verse 9, the Lord is not slow to fulfill his promises, as some count slowness, but God is patient toward you, not wishing that anyone should perish in this penalty of death, but that all should reach repentance. What is repentance? Repentance is simply choosing to do the right thing when we find out the right thing. You see, God had spoken, and God's word can never be changed. Isaiah, the 40th chapter, verse 8 explains that to us. It says, the grass withers, the flowers fades, but the word of God will stand forever. That's the Bible. Numbers, the 23rd chapter, verse 19, also talks about this. It says, God is not a man that he should lie, or son of man that he should change his mind. Has he said, and will he not do it? Or has he spoken, and it will not be fulfilled? It will be. God's word never changes. God's love never changes either. That's why the birth of Jesus, the ministry and teaching of Jesus, the death of Jesus, the resurrection of Jesus, and the soon return of Jesus, all these wonderful acts of love just for you and me, so that we can make the right choices and be saved when he comes back. All of these things are for you and for me. And what does he want in return? That we should love him like he loves us, not with the power that God has. We will never be able to have that power, but God wants us to love him. You see, Jesus, one of the last things he said was that if you love me, you will keep all of my teachings and all of my commandments. You see, when you have a relationship with God, when you truly believe that God loves you, then he will give you the power to be obedient, and he will give you the strength to obey. That's love. All you have to do is make the right choice. You see, I try to explain to you, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you've done, no matter what you're doing right now, no matter what your belief system is, no matter if you've not believed in God or still not sure believing in God, no matter what, God loves you. And he's waiting for you to make the right choice. What is that choice? Love him. Obey him. You're not going to be strong as any of us were who were not as obedient to God as we should have been. But as I can witness to you, if you try, if you say, Lord, help me to love you as you love me. Make that simple choice. He will take you the rest of the way. He'll show you how. He'll give you the strength. And every time you fall short, he will forgive you simply by you asking him. He loves you just like that. Today, make the choice to love God. He loves you, and his love will never stop. God bless you. See you the next time on Understanding with Pastor Harris.